Welcome to Patrice for Pilates and Yoga. We are already at day 5 of our 7-day series of short exercises for the new you for the new year. So shall we get going? So let's start with opening the chest. So if you can kneel, that's fine, please kneel. If you can't, just sit in the most comfortable position for you. So we're taking the arms up, we're going to take them out wide, then take the thumbs up and back. So you've got real openness through the chest here, and just gently open those pectoral muscles. Now, even though we've had Christmas and most of us, I guess, won't have been working, I know a lot of people are working, you know, care workers and NHS and all the public sector. But for those of us that haven't worked, we might not be quite so tight because we probably wouldn't have been sitting at our desks, hunched over our computers, or even over our driving steering wheels and so on and so forth. But even so, we still get tight across the chest. And being open is really good for our posture, and it just helps us function better. So just keep opening those muscles. Keep going. And from here, come back. And we're just going to take the arms into a rotation. So we're coming to a box position, doesn't matter which hand is on top. So in that box position, we're just rotating as far as you can go. And then back to centre. It might not be very far. And we'll warm up and hopefully go a little bit further as we warm up the body. So doing the rotation, the opening to start, should give a little bit more rotation. So this rotation is coming from the spine and the eye gaze and neck just follows. I've got a very tight neck, so I find it really difficult. But go to your own mobility. And just keep that spine moving, it's really important. And even now, keep that belly button pulled in to the spine. And back to centre. And just give yourself a nice shake out here. So from here, we're going to come over onto our sides today. And we're going to do some leg circles. So you can have your hand here, so shoulder aligned with the elbow, or you can be right the way down on the floor, whatever works for you. So make sure you've got that nice triangle position with the legs to start with, so they're supporting you. Draw up under the side oblique muscles, and then take the top leg long, and firstly just flex that foot and make sure your hips are nicely stacked. We'll just do some little lifts first of all, and then we're going to our circles. So you'll feel this immediately down those glutes. So in here, right in here, get those glutes working. So just get those legs nice and strong. So your abduction. So breathe. You might want to put your hand on your tummy to make sure that engagement is there, keeping the pelvis in the right position. And then we'll just gentle point of the toe, and then we'll go back in little circles here, little circles back. Think about the back movement more than the forwards movement. And we only need to really do 6 one way, 6 the other. So even in these short routines that we're doing, we're working the entire body. And you should, if you do these, you can then do them in any order, so you can choose the one you find best for your body. You'll get a workout throughout the entire body. So this is really good for keeping your strength and growing that strength as well. So back to centre, then we come over. Just give yourself a little bit of a rub here. And stay where you are with that leg. You can actually come on and bring the foot forwards or have it where it was. And we'll just take the opposite leg long. We're just going to do some inner thigh lifts. So we've done some rotation. We're doing inner thighs and we're doing outer thighs. And then we'll work the rest of the body. So just a few more lifts. And enjoy that. And hold, point, flex, and back and down. And then we go on to the other side. Again, once you're on the other side, please make sure you use the same position to get the body in alignment. So I'm going to stay on my shoulder today, but you can go down with the arm. And then we'll take that top leg long And flex that foot for me. And we'll do just some little lifts to start before we go into our circles. So they're not too high, don't come too high because then you'll lose the pelvic alignment. So you want to just give those tiny little pulses, just working that leg and right up here into those glutes. And draw the tummy in. Remember to breathe and keep a good neck alignment if you can as well. Again, that extension of the spine. All these little pointers just keep considering as you're working out. And then from here, you just softly point that toe and then we'll go little circles back. So maybe 6 one way, 6 the other. Just working through that hip socket, so it's a nice long leg and it's just working up into the hip and then the other way. And back we go, keep going. And you should already feel that. And then you bring that leg over and bring it down and give yourself that little bit of a massage. And then you can come and bring that leg towards you or have it where it was. And then just do those nice little inner thigh lifts. I say nice, these are really, I find most uncomfortable. And they're a bit of the body that I've never really wanted to work out. But once you get used to it and you think, well, otherwise I'm not in symmetry. And then you know, if you don't have strength in all parts of the body, that's when you get misalignments and you get accidents and weaknesses that you don't really want. So it's really good just to work the entire body. So keep that going. And back we come. So from here, we're going to do some work for the abdominals. So just take yourself gently down and just slowly down with control onto your back. And then you can keep your feet on the floor to start with, but take the hands behind the head and clasp the head. And then open the arms really wide, deeply into the floor. So you've got that openness again. We started with opening today with the pectoral muscles. So really push the elbows wide and deep into the floor. And before you do anything else, keep them there if you can. So push the head back into the hands and push the arms into the floor if you can. If they don't go to the floor, it doesn't matter. Just go as wide as you can for your posture. But do some pelvic tilts for me. Back deep into the floor and then rolling through the pelvis into neutral spine. Back deep into the floor, flat back, and then rolling forwards. So get nice mobilization for the spine. Doesn't matter what time of day you're doing this. It's really good to mobilize the spine. We've done our rotations and now we'll just do our tilts. So come back to a neutral spine and now just take the elbows in to a 45-degree angle and the shoulder blades back and down into the floor. So they're deep into the floor. Your feet are into the floor working. So really push into the feet for me and then we come up into an abdominal curl. So you'll come into the tips of your shoulders here, up and down. And if you can, just hover. But if you can't, because your neck is uncomfortable, just go right to the floor. So we're just doing some warm up for our abdominal walls. So draw the pelvic floor up. That's the sling muscle that keeps our organs in place. So draw up through the pelvic floor and the abdominals down. So that's the deep abdominals we're working here. We're not coming up too high. We're not working the superficial muscles. We're going really slowly and warming up those deep abdominals. So it's important to get a strong core so that we can do all the other exercises with control. The core is what keeps us strong, and it's really important to work the deeper layer. So you have to do a lot of these to really get that engagement, to get that feeling of the body engaging deep inside. So you've got a corset that helps you keep strong without having to wear one. So use your own corset, which is so much better. So just get that feeling of the corset warming up. That's a number of muscles, internal muscles, keeping us strong. So a couple more And then we're going to just do a few pulses. So hold at the top if you can and do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then hold 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And lower, lower, lower with control. And there you go. So draw the legs in, just give yourself a rock over the spine, and that should feel quite nice. Well, it certainly feels nice now that you've finished anyway. So from here, we'll roll back, we'll roll back up, and we'll just come into a little bit of yoga flow. So from here, I'd like you to take your feet behind you, so tuck your toes, and we're going to push ourselves up into a down dog. But before you go into down dog, come high onto your toes. Just stay high onto the toes, and then take one leg to the floor, and then the other leg to the floor, if you can. Again, you don't have to. You can just be here. Just bend your legs. What I really want you to do though is get this flat back. So if you can't get your heels to the floor, don't compromise. Just bend your knees like this. It feels good, and then you get the length through the spine. So do what's right for your body, but think length through the spine. So from here, for our little flow, we're going to take the right leg up to the sky. We're going to draw that leg under and bring it forwards. And then we're going to take the left foot down. So the foot is flat on the floor at a 45-degree angle. And then we're going to come up into our warrior one. So go deep into that front leg if you can. Get the front leg working. So it's a sort of 90-degree angle if you can get to that. But the back leg is really strong and long, and that's working your hip flexors, opening your hip flexors. Arms are up to the sky. Again, just bring those little fingertips round, open the shoulder blades and take them down into their back pockets. And breathe in your strong warrior one. That's lovely. So breathe, breathe, breathe. And then take the arms down. And then we come forwards. Look at our toe. And then we take our arms behind us into a humble warrior. So we're down looking at our toes. You can let the head go here, just let the head and neck go. Just enjoy that feeling of rest. So rest the body on the thigh if you can. And then we'll take the hands back and round and down and come back into our down dog. So slowly back into our down dog, and then just stretch, stretch, stretch. Again, as I said before, bend the knees if you need to. Just bend deeply as you need to get the length in the spine. Don't compromise the spine. Get that stretch. It's really important. And then this time the left leg comes up to the sky. And then we draw it through. And help it if you need to, help the leg through if you don't get right to where you need to be. And then from here, we take our right leg round, 45-degree angle, coming into our warrior one, if you know warrior one. And just make sure you're nice and stable before you bring the fingertips off the floor, drawing yourself up into that lovely warrior one. So the warriors are strong. They're helping us maintain openness and strength. Again, the tummy is pulled in towards the spine, that 90-degree angle on the front leg, but the length down the hip flexor and the groin area of the back leg. Make that back leg really strong and try to push into the outer side of the foot. So you're working all the muscles there, and shoulders away from the ears. Again, that little rotation of the fingers helps to get that openness down the back shoulders. And just breathe, breathe, breathe. And then we can come forwards and just look at our foot, that nice long line from fingertip to heel. And then we can come round into our humble warrior. So the head is down and relaxed, the body's over the front knee now. So the body can rest on the thigh if you want it to, but if not, which is better to try and maintain your position with the body inside the leg. and just breathe through. Lift the arms only as high as is good for you, but to get that feeling of working that back leg. So although your weight is over your front leg, your back leg is the one that's working as well. And then we come back and round, and we come back into our down dog, and we use our down dog as our rest today. So just stretch through, just enjoy that rest position. And to get a bit more work down the back of the legs, just gently take the heels out and the toes in, and then push through to get the stretch down the hamstrings. You'll feel this come down the sides of the legs a bit more. And breathe, breathe, breathe. And then gently lift up and lower down into a box. And we'll just do a quick cat-cow here. And up. Just to release the spine. And then we'll come back, push ourselves back onto our heels, and come round to seated. And we'll just finish off this one with a nice wide stretch for the groin. So take the legs as wide as you can. It doesn't have to be very wide, it's just what suits you. Again, you can take your butt cheeks off your sit bones and just flex the feet and just enjoy that stretch through the groin and breathe through and just enjoy that stretch. And again, from here you can come down. If that feels good for you, you can walk down in the centre area, coming down to the ground if that feels good. But just go as far as feels comfortable for yourself. And you might want to wiggle yourself further down if that feels good. And just coming forwards if that feels nice. And resting on the floor. Just breathe through and enjoy the stretch. And wherever you got to, it really doesn't matter at all. Our bodies are all at different construction. So it depends on your bones, how flexible you are. So don't worry if you can't get down. I can, because I've just got the bones for it. It's just how it is. And if you can come just to here, that's all good. It doesn't matter at all. But just do what works for yourself. Come back up, bring your legs in, and then close them up. And then just take them away and just finish off for the day. So thank you for joining me for day 5, and I hope you'll come back for day 6. And as I said before, you can do these in any order because you get a good workout for the body, whichever one you choose. And if you can do them every week, so you've got one for every day, that would be fantastic. And please do subscribe if you'd like to have more videos. Thank you.